No, who's that? Is that Daddy? Oh, right. Okay. Baby, you see Daddy? Wait. Layla, are you just tired? It's not Daddy.
What's good, YouTube? TB Locs here, bringing you guys another video today. Yes, and today I want to share with you a few ways that going bald has actually changed or improved my life. All right, if you're interested in that video, stay tuned. Per usual, you guys, if you're not done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button right now. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, definitely want to make sure that notification bell stay notified when I post tomorrow when I post. All right, let's get to the video. Now, you guys, for a lot of men, going bald is like an end of an era. It's leaving your prime. If you're online, let people tell it. It's you entering your unk phase. I've been called unk more times than I can remember this year. And you know, I know for a lot of men, it's actually very, very hard. So for this video, I just wanted to share a few ways as of recent that, you know, going bald has actually changed some things up for me. First thing is content. Y'all have noticed since the last video that I had just dropped, I had not been making long form videos for a long time. And there's actually been a reason for that, right? This channel for the longest was about tracking locks. It was about interacting and giving you guys lock advice, about the connection through locks, and basically the spiritual journey and the benefits that we had all been sort of reaping together. It was sort of fellowship, I should say. And when I ultimately found out that I was dealing with essentially male pattern baldness, it was a huge hit, not only to my confidence, but really to my creativity. I had no idea where I was gonna venture next. I had no idea what you guys wanted to hear. I was dropping videos, trying to kind of create new lanes, and nothing really was hitting. And in that regard, going bald really did derail you, boy. I ain't gonna lie. The last few months, I was dealing with a lot of paralysis by analysis. I was trying to figure out what my direction was going to be. The only thing I was able to actually provide you guys was content that really kept my face off the camera. You know, my TP comedy shorts playlist, you guys can check that out right now. I was still trying to make sure that I was connected, but I was not putting my face on camera. Now that I'm back making videos, I have come to terms with, you know, this kind of being a part of the process. Content was absolutely impacted. You know what else was impacted by that lack of confidence? My fashion. Probably for the first 3 months of going bald, y'all, I had subconsciously refused to go outside without some sort of hat, head covering. Like, I was covering myself up. I was hiding myself. This wasn't something that I had really, you know, realized in real time. But looking back, I'm like, damn, I didn't go outside without a hat. I didn't put no videos out for real. It's like, you know, this stuff really was impacting my confidence. For those of you guys out there who have gone bald or just found out you got male pattern baldness and, you know, maybe you're relatively young, understand that this is and this can be a part of your process as well. Kind of having to, you know, recultivate that confidence. Which brings me to thing number 2. How did it impact my family? When it came to my family's perception of my bald head, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only people I was really nervous about was my daughters. You guys have seen the video that I dropped not too long ago where I was doing this head reveal for my oldest daughter, right? She's coming home with her costumes on, I think it's sometime around Halloween. Show her my bald head, you know what I'm saying? I'm all happy, you know, to surprise her for my first time bald shave. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was a long day or what, but the results were that my daughter started to cry, right? It was a very funny video.
Okay. Baby, you see Daddy? Wait. Layla, are you just tired? It's not Daddy.
While that video may have reflected some of her sentiments in that moment, overall, the reception by my daughters has been great. In fact, my daughters are more fascinated with my head than ever. They always want to touch it. They always want to see what it's like and what it feels like and all that little stuff, much to my chagrin. Really, as I got more comfortable and confident with myself, I was able to really see all the ways that they really did love my bald head. They absolutely love my head. And when it comes to my wife, y'all, when it comes to my wife and how she's received this bald head, let me tell y'all, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me getting in shape or me having a bald head or the combination of the two. Let me know in the comment section, fellas, if you know what I'm talking about. Something about that bald head in our marital situations, right? I love tackle. With all these hairstyles that I've been rocking over the years, man, it's almost like my wife has been getting a couple of different husbands. She got a fat husband with locks. She got a, you know, fit husband with bald head. She getting a lot of variety. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Between my wife and my kids, they absolutely love my bald head, man. And the same thing echoes throughout my family. My mother, my mother-in-law, you know, my sister-in-law, and even my friends. I mean, people can see that I'm bald. But for the most part, I'm not getting those jokes that I may have anticipated, right? Really, when, you know, I was getting such a warm reception, I had to really confront why I thought it wouldn't be the case. And it really goes back to, you know, childhood trauma. I know everything kind of comes back to some childhood trauma so much that it kind of seems cliche, but for real, it is a cultural staple to make fun of people's heads. Whether you got a big head, whether you got a small head, somebody gonna make fun of your head. And I remember being that little boy from around ages 4, probably all the way to age maybe 7, 8. Every time I would go back home to Alabama, Gaston, Alabama is where all my family is. It represents a piece of me, it's my heart. Every time I would go back there, bruh, my uncle would let me have it. And I believe my Uncle Johnny and my Uncle Harold, them boys is funnier than Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey. Boy, I would go home and it was like a stand-up special.
He'd be like, what's the head count?
You put an ice cube on his head, he'll have a head cold.
Favorite shampoo is Head and Shoulders.
What if they say you head wrong?
I'll walk in a room and you would get that little Remember back in the day, you were walking, your uncle would just grab the back of that hook. I don't even know how to describe that motion. They would just grab it and hook it. They would make jokes around it. They would kind of center the attention around you when you walked in a room as a little kid. And as a young child, that was something that was a huge contrast for me. My mother was the type of person that anytime I walked in a room, she was trying to make me feel like a young king. My dad was trying to make me feel like a young prince. And so, you know, they were speaking a lot of life into me. I didn't receive a lot of, you know, criticism or any sort of negative feedback at all. I was also that boy in elementary school. You know, everybody was trying to give me them apple sauces. Everybody was trying to give me them cookies, them girls, and nap times. I was doing playhouse marriages all throughout my elementary school. Boy, let me not tell you about my stat sheet, brother. An elementary stat sheet is diabolical. Needless to say that I had a lot of confidence, you know, coming into those situations. To have that harsh contrast from my uncles, you know, to be making fun of me about something, it was something that I carried. It was like, oh, is this my flaw? Is this the thing that, you know, people are all gonna see this same way? So much, in fact, y'all, and I probably admitted this in the past, part of the reason why I wanted to rock dreadlocks is because I was gonna get some of that good coverage. Getting locks absolutely did provide me with an opportunity where I could, you know, have my head covered, you know, rock some hair. I hadn't rocked long hair in a long time, as well as, you know, enjoying those spiritual benefits of locks. I absolutely do credit God and that lock journey with being a part of the success of me being able to climb through the corporate ladder from starter locks up to this point. But yeah, man, confidence was really the key. And those are things that I really, really had to unpack at the end of the day. But that's really how my family adjusted to it. And lastly is professionally. Now, those of you guys who don't know or have not been following this channel very long, I work for corporate Microsoft. I work a work from home job. There's not a lot of FaceTime, and every now and then I'll get on Teams or I'll get on Zoom and someone will see my bald head, and it's really not a thing at all. In fact, in a lot of ways, it makes almost zero impression compared to the locks. You know, when I would turn on my Zoom and people would see that I had locks, it was almost like you had to have a 2-minute mini icebreaker just to discuss your locks and what they mean to you and all that stuff.
Oh my God, where is that?
That looks like
It's
an
in
Edinburgh.
Where? That's intense. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Wow,
Yes.
the sound.
Holy shit, that's incredible. Why have I never heard of this?
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
Kind of got a little annoying at some point, but with a bald head, you just turn on a Zoom call, nobody really says anything. As for my commercial acting, that was actually a place that I was sort of rocky on. When it comes to this commercial acting space, this is a space that my wife has really taken the lead on. She started doing jobs back in Seattle where she was an extra at first, then she started getting roles in Grey's Anatomy, working for Boeing, Amazon. Recently, you know, getting an opportunity with C4.
C4 Smart Energy is made for one thing, to help you stay focused. The moments of doing everything all at once and doing it like it's no big deal. C4 Smart Energy. Stay focused.
So when it came to entering that commercial acting space, I really didn't know what my hair plan needed to be. Everything that I was hearing about that space in the industry and Hollywood is, you know, people tend to want men to have hair. Only people that I had really ever seen bald that were able to thrive in that market were people that were kind of already established. The Rock, Jason Statham, Boris Kojo, you know, Morris Chestnut, those guys. Me, some new actor that just went bald at 30, I didn't think it was really gonna rock. I was kind of having to go through this limbo where I was like, yo, I need to grow my hair out enough so I can rock a bald fade, because I'm probably not going to be able to get opportunities with my bald head. That's something that I was projecting and casting on myself, right? Time had passed. Top of this year, I was able to get a job with Margaritaville. Now that job I didn't get with my bald head. I was rocking a bald fade with that job. My headshots are a bald fade. I was really, really happy to be affirmed that I had the ability to go get a job on my own. My wife had really been the catalyst for all the other jobs I had gotten prior. This Margaritaville was the first time that I'd really gotten a job. But I still wasn't representing the way that I felt like I needed to for my bald head. This most recent job that I auditioned for, I decided to audition bald. It was a soccer coach role, and I felt, you know, based on the age range, based on the role, I believe that I could pull this off. I'll show you guys the audition in B-roll. Not only that, I thought it was gonna be very important that if I wanted people to accept me, I had to make sure that I accepted myself as well, right? So I did the audition, submitted the audition, and that was that. The process of sending that audition, I had to get wisdom tooth surgery, right? And this is all gonna make sense eventually. I had to get wisdom tooth surgery probably about a couple days after sending that audition in, right? So usually when you do an audition through casting networks, you're able to get some sort of notification as to whether or not they're interested in seeing you either play the role or doing some sort of callback audition, right? In this particular instance, they asked me to do a callback. Now y'all saw my audition. I don't know if I wowed them or not, but I do know I had that bald ass head. The recommendation going into your callback audition is to make sure you wear and sort of project the exact same way. All the guidance says that if they've chosen you to come in and do your audition, they've chosen you because they love something that you brought to the role, something specific to the way that you portrayed yourself. For the first time, I had felt really affirmed in this industry by industry professionals, industry grade standard professionals. Hey, we kind of like you with this bald head, right? Now the timing and how they asked me for the audition is where the adversity came. But not only that, add on the fact that I've just had 4 wisdom teeth pulled out. I'm in pain, taking pain meds, antibiotics, and oral steroids, right? I find out that they want me to come do a callback audition at 11:59 on Tuesday, 4 days post-operation for my wisdom tooth surgery. By the grace of God, I didn't really have any major swelling, didn't really have a lot of discomfort, so I did have the ability to go in and do that audition. They wanted me to do that audition. It was 11:59 where I got that request in my email. I don't know why I was checking email 11:59, terrible sleep hygiene. Basically asking me to come in and audition at 5 p.m. that evening. But I ended up deciding to go to the audition. Let me tell y'all, bruh, the audition was even crazier. Of course, because they're calling me back for the soccer coach role, I come in and I do my callback audition. Now, anytime you do a callback audition, it's about 12 to 15 people in a room. The casting team, it's the director team, and it's the client, right? It's a lot of people in the room. You can imagine going into this room having to act. You have to be confident. You have to be so assured and practiced and rehearsed in your role that you just know you're gonna get it. And for the soccer coach role, I absolutely was. I had been practicing in the mirror a couple times to the point where I had known exactly what my face marks were. You know, I was ready for that role. I had read in the fine print that there was an additional role that I may have been suitable for. It wasn't the one I sent my original audition for, so I didn't really think too much about whether or not I would have to read for it. But I did sort of want to make sure I looked at the fine print of it. Now, this particular role was a groom role. In this groom role, in that fine print, I had read that it actually demanded a kissing scene. I don't know about y'all, and you know, maybe some of y'all would do it. I ain't judging nobody. But I know when we came into this industry, we just kind of decided that certain things were for sale. I'm not Denzel Washington. I am not Idris Elba. I am just TP Locs. You know what I'm saying? I am not here to project images that are not true to my spirit, true to my family, true to my life and my heart. So that was a no-go for me going in. By going to the audition, I killed the soccer coach role, right? I've seen coaches, good and bad coaches. I know how to act like a coach. That shit's just in my DNA. I murked that role. But of course, after I do that soccer coach role, they asked me to read for the groom role. Mind y'all, I had read the fine print. I had known what that role had considered. What do you think I told those guys? You think I decided to read for the role without letting them know my standards? Or do you think I told them my standards? If you guessed the latter, you're absolutely right. Before they can even hand me the prop wedding ring, right? I have to let everybody in the room know. Mind you, 12 to 15 people, all white people, by the way. I'm saying there's anything wrong with that, but black men, y'all know, that can kind of create a little bit of uneasiness sometimes. Not even just uneasiness, but a lacking in confidence. In front of all of them, I have to say, essentially, hey, I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention, I do know that this role requires a kissing scene, and I'm more than happy to read, but I'm just not comfortable with the kissing scene. Basically, did all the disclaimers and all that stuff. When I said that, it went silent. Client was silent, the room was silent. You could hear a pin drop in that room. I didn't know whether I had broken etiquette. I didn't know, mind you, I'm still stacking all the layers of things that are faltering my confidence, right? Even within that, I still have enough to say, yo, this is my boundary. And I'm just waiting for their response. I'm waiting for some sort of affirmation, some sort of approval. And then probably after about 10 to 15 seconds of awkward silence, a lady says, you know what, I respect it. To my surprise, y'all, and this is where I felt like God was really just, he was really put his hand in there and was like, hey, my son, don't worry about it. We're all starting to ask about my wife. He's like, well, hey, did your wife submit? Can she submit? I mean, we would love to have her. It was just, that was a beautiful moment. They were looking at my Instagram photo, trying to get my wife's information just to see if they wanted to consider me for the role. But the adversity didn't stop there. Even though they essentially said it's okay if you don't do this role, they still wanted me to read for it. Keep in mind, y'all, when you're reading or when you're acting for a group of people, it's not like what you do when you're at home. When you grow up and you think you acting at home, or when you acting on YouTube or any other social media platform, you have the benefit of looking at yourself and sort of tracking what your emotions look like, tracking what your face looks like. It takes a lot of time to really sharpen your instrument, right? To really know what you look like when you're emoting. Even now, as I'm recording this video, I got a monitor right above me to see what I look like, to see whether I'm center, all of those things. You're in that room in that audition, that is not there. When they ask me to do this role, this is a role that I have not rehearsed for, I have not practiced those emotions for. It's really just me having to go immediately into method acting, which I am not a seasoned method actor. They're asking me to do things like pretend that you're seeing your wife walking down the aisle and you're really, really excited and you're really, really nervous and you're really, all these things, right? They're asking me to convey these very complex, dramatic emotions, literally talking into an iPad for a gentleman who's not even in the room and 12 to 15 other people. Not only that, I'm mildly buzzed from hydrocodone, got 4 wisdom teeth missing, and my face and how it even looks with certain emotions has changed. Of course, I calm myself down, I embody the role. I don't really know how good I did, but we ended the audition, walked out, handed them my headshot, said thank you to everyone, the client, and that was that. That was Tuesday. They said that by the end of the day, they would be making decisions, and by Wednesday, they would be reaching out to people. By Wednesday, I had not heard back from anybody. I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's probably because I'm bald. They don't want bald old cats. They want young cats with full heads of hair that are aspirational to young women and young men. That's what they want. Or maybe it's the fact that I broke some major etiquette or code or protocol when I told them no in front of the client. Maybe that embarrassed my agency. Maybe I had broken some huge unspoken law that I didn't know about. And then lastly, I was just like, okay, well, maybe it's just my acting ability. Maybe this is just the humility that I need, to just really say, man, is this really something that I can do? Maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. That really was the feeling that Wednesday after I didn't get that call back, because I really felt soccer coach was something that I could do. Wednesday goes by, Thursday goes by. I'm really sure that I don't get the role at that point. But mind you, I'm still checking the mail. I'm still sort of maintaining faith, still checking that mail. Friday comes, and when Friday comes, I get a mail from the casting director. She ends up reaching out to me and saying, hey, I've been trying to get in contact with your agent for the last few days. Please hurry up and confirm, because we would love to extend you this role. In that moment, it felt like I was affirmed on all fronts. But like my acting direction was affirmed, my morals and principles were affirmed, and it also felt like, for the sake of this video, my bald head and the ability to land roles with my bald head was absolutely affirmed. I really had to unpack why I was so quick to just down talk myself after one rejection. I have to talk to my therapist about that for real, because it might stem back to, being around my uncle. Give me that head, boy. In that moment, it really did teach me something. Give all the glory to God for teaching me that lesson the way that he did. There's a reason why I wanted to share this story with you guys. All that doubt, all that lack of confidence, all that apprehension, that's all the stuff that I'm creating in my head, man. Chances are, if you going bald, that's something that you're creating in your head as well. This stuff don't gotta hold you back. But if you go out into the world and you project that and you put that on people without unpacking that and dealing with that yourself, it's something that'll cause paralysis by analysis with content. It'll have you thinking your family is your ops. It'll have you thinking that your professional opportunities and blessings aren't really out there for you. And bro, I'm here to tell you right now, it's not true. It's not true. Go get that shit. Go get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick said, let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Obviously, I know that when it comes to this professional space and commercial acting space, I do have work to do. Those thoughts were not thoughts that I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, I guess I'm the best now. No, absolutely not. All of those thoughts that I am gonna take and consider. I don't wanna feel those ways anymore. I believe no matter what your situation is, no matter what your goal is, if you're taking those steps forward to put a little bit on top of that goal every single day, work a little bit closer to that goal every single day, it don't matter what your hair situation is, man. You gonna make that happen. You gonna go half the way and God gonna meet you the other half, dog. That's been true to my life this entire process. I'm like an unk right now. And hey, look, I ain't gonna beat them Unk allegations sitting here talking about goddamn guru, looking like Sensei Buddha. But I wanted to share this with you guys, man. This is how my bald head has impacted me. And I hope this video has helped you guys out. I know a lot of y'all out there, brothers, have been going through this process, and I hope this helps you get through it and move forward, even no matter what it is. If I did inspire you, please let me know in the comment section. If you've got a story similar, share it in the comment section. So as always, keep God first. It's TP Locs.
Oh, nah, you boys are zesty.
This how Drake fans put on conditioner.
No, don't put it in your hand. Let it shower over, man.
Like, y'all be taking social media a little bit too goddamn far. If I was in the seat next to these oddly, and look at the barber wishing it was real, you are a nasty, nasty man. I just want you kids to think, bro. Are you gonna be happy with videos like these being online forever, ever? Forever, ever?